it's good. I got a new phone. I know that my audio was cutting out on my last lives. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me good or not. I'm still not sure how to like check the comments, I guess. But we're gonna be busy doing this, so I'm just gonna stay on this. If you have any questions, I'll look over them afterwards. So basically, I'm just going to, in this black area, these strips right here, it's just black base coat, and everything's been cleared. I sanded it down with 600 grit and Scotch Brite of the areas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this off, and then we're going to add a marbleized effect using the same color of candies that I used here. I just mixed it in with silver base coat, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and get started. I have it all cleaned up, glass cleaner, and we're ready to tape this out and get ready to get started. So all I'm doing is just running some 1/8" fine line right on that existing edge that I already have. Or close to it. All I'm doing is just isolating these two areas, and I'll tape it off a little more. Let me flip this around. Same thing on this side. Last one. All right, I'm going to run some 3/4 inch masking tape. I just aim for halfway through the 1/8" tape right there. Couple there. That should be good enough, as long as you're not all gnarly when you spray it. You just kind of angle it in. Obviously, if you're spraying and you angle it out, you're going to get overspray there, so you're going to want to tape that up more. And one more. All right, it's all taped out. Let me tape up right here a little bit. All right, let's mix up some paint for this. Okay. All right. This is just silver base coat. Hopefully you guys can see and hear me all right. This is just silver base coat. You can find it on the Amazon link. I'll have it in the description later. You can use pretty much any base coat. Don't use a single stage. This is just a base coat, so it dries fast. I think Speedo coat, House of Color has some. It's just a metallic paint. Nothing crazy, no big flakes or nothing like that. We're gonna put some. Don't need much to do this. So there's the silver. Pagan Gold, House of Color concentrate. Usually you mix this with a clear base coat. In this case, I'm just going to mix it at its full concentrate in with a little bit of silver that I have in there. You don't need much. And then I'm going to add some root beer brown to darken it up. Just a couple of drops. These are the two colors that I use to paint the rest of this bike. So it kind of keeps in the same color tone and the same harmony of colors by doing that. So you guys can see that. That's a little more gold than I wanted. I'm going to stick some more brown in here. That's a nice copper tone. I like that. I'll go with that. So you don't have to really reduce this because of the method that we're using. We're not actually spraying it onto the part. But usually, if I was to stick this in my airbrush, you'd reduce it with a little bit of urethane reducer. So when you spray through your airbrush, it comes out smoother. The thicker the paint is, it just kind of balls up and you don't have a nice of a blend. So that would be too thick for an airbrush, but it's going to be perfect for what we're doing. All right. Let's see what we have in there. We have black in there right now. We're going to clean this out. Load that guy up. The airbrush that I'm using, Iwata Eclipse HPCS. I've had this thing for, I don't know, about a year now. I need to take it apart and oil it, but they last for a long time. Okay, here it is. We got some saran wrap here. I guess it's just clear wrap I use for shipping. You can use Walmart bags. You can use, I've seen people use like Scotch-Brite and stuff like that. I use some other techniques. I really like this because it just makes it look like really organic. And when you do it in the brown, it almost looks like a walnut wood or something. It just gives, I like doing textures because it gives it a different look. We have right here, we have all the different patterns and the nice blends and stuff like that. This just kind of breaks it up in between. I feel like sometimes Marbleites gets a really bad rap because back when they first started doing it, it's like they were doing the whole tank or the total tank and the fenders. Just accents here and there with certain candy colors mixed a certain way. Man, I love it. I like the way it looks. I think it's, you can tell I do it in a lot of my paint jobs. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm gonna kind of bunch this up. So I'm gonna grab me a little bit more. That wasn't a big enough piece. There we go. I like to do it a little bit bigger piece because when you stamp it, if it could look the same, kind of want it to look as random as you can. So I'm just spraying this directly onto it, just kind of flooding it out. And it's as easy as just stamping it on there. Kind of have to go pretty fast because it dries up quick. But see, that's already on there. That's already dry. And you can keep using the same piece. See, I'm just kind of alternating it, trying to hit it on different edges. I'm not trying to do the whole thing. Hopefully you guys can see here. Bring in a little closer. I'm not trying to do the whole thing. I mean, you could if that's the look you want. I wanted to keep more of the black in this, and it gives it a nice contrast having a darker black. So I like it, splotchy like that. You could even add different colors. Like if you wanted to, you could mix up another mixture just like we did. Maybe just add a little more gold, and you could, once this kind of dries, you can restamp it with the gold too, kind of giving it two different looks. All right. I'll probably get a new piece. Like I said, just kind of rotate the piece around, hit different edges of it. See, that's pretty wet right there. It's okay. Looks good like that. Yeah, that looks pretty even to the other side. Maybe a little more right there. A little more right there. All right, hopefully you guys can see that good. There it is right there. Okay, so you could call this done right now. What I like to do is I have a little bit of black base coat mixed up, and I'm gonna fade these edges. And you'll see the difference when I'm done, is it just gives it like a drop shadow. It looks awesome. Okay, black base coat. Hopefully you guys can see that good. All right. So I'm just hitting the edge of the tape and letting the overspray spray over onto just the edge, giving it a blend. It just adds an incredible amount of depth. I couldn't see not doing this really, but I mean, it's all different looking what you like. All right, there's that side. Okay, I think I got it. Let's go ahead and shut this noisy compressor off. And let's pull the tape. if I had my tape removal blades around here, let's see. Here we go. These things are awesome. Little plastic blade. It keeps you from like digging into your paint. I'm having a hard time. Let's get this in here. And it's much easier and faster to pull your tape. So you don't have to worry about gouging out the artwork that you've done. Much easier and faster. Okay, there it is. Man, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go through. Let's see if I have any questions. I have no idea how to do this. Have no clue. One day, hopefully, I figure that out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Here it is, right here. It's basically just going to go in for another 4 coats of clear coat. I'm going to add some drop shadows right here before that happens, but goes in for another 4 coats of clear. The biggest thing I can say is with custom paint is, I like to paint with layers. So not all the graphics are done in one session. Like this has been a couple of sessions through clear coat. So this thing probably has 10 coats or 12 coats of clear right now, and it's going to get more. That's kind of the way it goes with custom paint. If you try to do it all in one setting, yeah, you might be able to do it, but then you're retaping back on stuff a lot. I just feel like having it like it is here. This is all clear coated with 4 coats of clear for the second time, and then sanded with 600, and then another layer that we just did here is just another layer of artwork. And realistically, once this goes into clear coat, we can sand it with 600 grit again and do more. Say we wanted to, I don't know, add something else to it. You don't necessarily have to you don't have to figure out all of your paint job at once. If you don't know what you're going to do or what you like, tape out something. And if you like it, go with it. And then just kind of build off of that. It's probably kind of some of the best advice that I can give to painters. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'll look back and see. I'll try to answer all your guys' questions. I really appreciate you watching. And we'll see you next time.